It's day six. Day six homelessness. I'm chilling in the parking lot, Kroger parking lot. I think. No, Randall's. My bad. It's more dignified. That's Randall's. It's damn near like a fucking inferno. Think of it like this. They say the hottest. At least this is from what I remember. It only gets colder the further down you go in hell. I think of like Dante's Inferno, right? Like there's like 7 levels, okay, for each like sinful nature that people have that they get condemned to. Okay. And I don't know, I think I might say I'd be at like level 3 at least. It's hot as shit. It's hot as shit, right? It's hot as fuck. If you don't know, at the very bottom, from what I remember, Satan lives down there, or the devil, right? He's at the very bottom. It's like the coldest place that you could be at. Like, you know how like the most chilling, unnerving thing that you would feel as a human being. Imagine that being like emasculated, or not emasculated. What am I saying? Emancipated. I mean, translasculated all the way into the very bottom. Okay, because it's very fucking cold. And he's not supposed to be. I think when he got sentenced down there in that prison, I don't think he was supposed to be getting out. That's like the ultimate divine punishment. I'd say I'm probably about level 3 right now. It's hot. It's hot. I'm saying it's like for me, I'm in a hot car. You want to see my well, nah, I don't want to show you, but I'm in a Honda Civic '08. That bitch has no AC. Drive around all day trying to get money for a hotel, you know, trying to get yourself a cheap hotel. You can't help yourself. You're compulsive, you're retarded, you know what I'm saying? You're like, I want peanut stimulant pill, and I also want coffee. No, I can go really hardcore when I go skateboarding. For real though, that's how it is, because I don't have anywhere to live. Okay. And we're getting there. You know, bills on top of bills on top of, even homeless, you still have bills. That shit's crazy, right? Bro, even at the lowest point, unless you decide to just finally say, fuck it, I'm done, and you give up, you still have bills. For real. Like, that shit sucks. I don't know what I'm thinking about, though. I mean, today's been a good day. I'd say in day 6, I was quarantined in an Iranian prison center for people who have wives that are deplorable outside of the hotel system. So it's like a nice sanctuary, right? It's nicer than where you would be at if you were in like a Mongolian prison system. And it's very calm. Keep it down. Keep it down. He's trying to sleep. My kids are trying to sleep. It was probably one of the nicest days I think I've had at a hotel recently. Because it was like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate rules. I hate them. Everybody hates rules. But you know what I like? I like structure, okay? I like it when I go to a hotel and I can go to bed at night knowing nobody's going to be banging on the walls looking for leftover Swisher Sweet cocaine type marijuana leaf in the bedroom, and they're having a freaking psychotic breakdown because they don't have any. Okay, I don't know about you, but I think I'd prefer, you know, the latter, being having a nice place to stay, and the people, you know, they need their space too, right? I fuck with that, dude. It was a nice day. I actually was upset when I had to depart today, but I kept going. You know, I kept it moving. Kept it moving because you can't really, you know, you're going to get upset. You're like, oh man, this is like paradise over here in comparison to the shit I'm dealing with every day. But you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And things aren't all that bad. I think I'm getting closer and closer to having a girlfriend every single day, right? I'm totally not mentally psychotic and having like a structural breakdown to where I think I'm actually going to get a girlfriend, okay? That's where we're at. That's where you're at. That's where I've been. Okay? Except now I'm self-aware. Like, what am I supposed to do? Think about it like this. Okay? You're gonna go hit on like a few black chicks down the street. What would you even say? I don't know. I wouldn't even fucking know. I don't even know how to talk to women like that. So, on top of that, you gotta have money. You got money? You probably, you could probably throw down at the fucking, go have like go to one of those bars, karaoke bars, throw down, start getting jiggy with the black chicks. But I mean, you got money to go to the karaoke bar? I don't. That's why I'm fucking homeless. Okay, but aside from that, like, I'm not trying to complain about my homelessness. I'm trying to find something productive to do, per se. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of things to do. If you got like a fucking $30 skateboard, get that done. Go ride around on a skateboard. You got a book? Look what we got here. Meyer Expedition Diaries. A Texas Prisoner's Diary by Mr. Joseph D. McCutcheon. McCutcheon? I don't know if it's McCutcheon or McCutcheon. Okay. This guy's sitting in some fucking Hispanic prison for like a year and a half or some shit. And he's like documenting his escapades in a diary, and somebody like put it into like something that we could formulate to be able to read. And I read like half of it, and then I stopped reading. I started reading it today, and I was like, damn. Nah, for real. Like, if there's anybody that you could look at and be like, you know what? I'm having a shitty day. I guarantee 10 times out of 10, this guy was probably going through like 10 times worse. Okay. 100%. I mean, this guy's fucking... Look, I'm just going to put like one of the most earliest recollections in the diary that I read was... Basically what the guy was saying was... They were having battles, right? Like, they were like going all... They went to explore down into Mexico, right? And then they're fighting Mexicans, and it turns out that they actually got a higher body count of Mexicans than the Americans in the expedition. Well, I think it would rather be more or less, it's the 1800s, I believe it's the Texans, as opposed to like the Americas, or whatever, like America. I don't think it was established down there as like entirely. It was still more Texian, as opposed to like identifying as like American entirely, if at that. Don't quote me on that. I don't necessarily fucking know, but that is true though, in some extent. This guy goes down there. He's like in the expedition. They got sent down there. I don't even know what the fuck exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, most wars, what are they for? I'm just mad. I'm just fucking mad. I'm just mad about something, and it's senseless and retarded. It's like think about it like this, okay? Like, you throw a rock at your eldest belated grandma. Why would you do that? Right? Why would you do that? You wanted to start a war, right? Well, so you see what I'm saying? It's pointless. Why would you do that? You don't need to do all that. What is she doing? I don't fucking know. I don't talk to her. But that's not the point. That's what I'm saying. Like, war is like fucking retarded and pointless. Now, granted, I can understand some extent to where it's like, you took it too far, okay? And something had to be done. But how much of it, like, of like savagery would you go down into, like, getting to that point where you would like fucking kill like a bunch of people? But aside from the topic of like wars and shit, I'm talking about like so basically the expedition went down there, and halfway through of their expedition, a few others decided to wander off, and because they wanted to go back to Texas, these guys wanted to stay and continue fighting because they were all fired up and they were ready to just get it done. They were like, fuck this shit, I'm not done yet. And those are the retards that went out there, okay? Alright. Those are the retards that went all the way out fucking down into fucking Mexico again, doing this whole, like, what were you expecting? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're already fighting people, and like, even if you did win, or you were like, per se, outskilling them to some extent where you lost less casualties, why continue down if it's not even expedited by like the central authority that they were under? They were just like being fucking retarded. And this is like 1800s, so think about it like this. They don't have smartphones. You know what I'm saying? So they're not looking on the internet. Maybe that's a bad idea. Which, granted, the internet's anything you look at on the internet, unless it's like factual, it's just fucking retarded. It's probably gonna make you do some stupid ass shit. But that's what I'm saying. They probably did have like writings and stuff to like look into, like, oh well, maybe maybe if this has been charted by us or charted by somebody else that can decipher like Hispanic language, right? Like written down. Okay. I'm not necessarily. I don't remember if they had some of it. They might have known. They might have had like some kind of intel, and obviously some of them spoke Spanish. And even I believe in some of the fucking Hispanics were on their side, even when they went down there. Because apparently, from what I was reading, like even like Hispanics would live down in Texas, and like some of them would just fucking flee because they'd have like a lot of like shit going on, and they were just like, "Fuck this shit, I'm going back to Mexico," right? But again, this guy gets stuck, thrown into a fucking like basically like he goes down, you know, against authority. Like it's like we need to pull out, and he would have been like they would have been fine had they pulled out and went back to Texas. God forbid, I don't know what the hell would have happened, you know, in retaliation wise, but. They sure as hell, from what I remember, this is like the very beginning of the fucking diary. I'm talking like this is right when he gets caught, and this is before it's all the recollection, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Unless my memory is just really fuzzy, because it's been like 2 months since I read it, but at least like the beginning. He was talking about like, we're stuck in these, me and my comrades have been stuck in these cells for a long time. You know, like those like fucking cheesy ass fucking war movies where it's like, I've been in the prison for 20 days and my comrades haven't come to give me anything. Stuff like that. But you know, correlate it in whatever fucking movie you watch. Okay? Now, think about it like this. What he was talking about is the recollections of how, like, so how the Hispanics saw it is they were having festivities right outside the prison cell where he and everybody else that got captured were located. I believe this might have been over in Mexico City or something, where I believe is the capital. So you can only imagine what kind of fiestas they were having. I mean, they're having like 20 quinceañeras, right? And fucking, I don't even know what else is going on. But, you know what I'm saying? They're dancing because there was still, even despite like a pointless war, there was still some sort of idea in their head that they won something, which was a bunch of Texan prisoners that took, granted, fucking 500, I think it was saying somewhere around 500 in comparison to like maybe like 200 to 300 of the, like not even in comparison to like what is even fair. And basically he's talking about, I had to sit there and it was like hell, the treatment that I felt, you know, like it's not even, it's so inhumane. And anybody who can honestly say they'd rather be if in jail or whatever, I don't know, I don't want to go to jail, but he's saying that the treatment of the Hispanic prison system that he was in like the 1800s was like so fucking morbidly horrible based off of how he was treated, that he just like he like you know how like you lose like I'm sure everybody at one point in their life has lost some sort of humanity, right, that you possess. And it's not because you don't want to continue possessing your humanity or not being better as a person, but things get so fucked up that your brain can't process it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what it does. He's like, I recollect as I sit here in this like dark, dusky prison, and like the sun's setting, and they're having like you know, festivities next door in this giant ass fucking castle. And what he's saying is, he's like, yeah, like all I could recall is the horrors, like basically like spiritually, of like my dead comrades being danced over and trampled over, as I sit here and am forcefully stuck to have to endure the reminder of what had happened on this expedition, and it's just like, because like, I don't know, like there's a lot of things that you could experience in life that could be fucked up like that, but anything near of like what that is, because like you got to think about it like that, your spirit's already fucking gone, you've been traveling around, you're stuck in captivity, these Hispanics are taking you, they're not feeding you well, because why the fuck should they? Especially after what was going on, right? That's not what they're thinking, right? But, I mean, I'm talking like he's talking about, like, my dead comrades. They're dancing over them. That's the only thing I can think of is, like, my dead brothers that were, like, next to me in this war that we just had, that we obviously just lost because we were acting stupid. And just, you know what I mean? Like Vietnam eyes, dog. Like, you know what I mean? They're dancing, you haven't eaten, you've been starving for days. You're just sitting there and they're dancing and you're just like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like the senseless horror that would go through your mind. Like Michael Myers, like, you know, Michael Myers is probably scary, right? For real. But now imagine if not Michael Myers, but like actually psychologically inside of your own personal hell that was captivated and given to you based off of your bad indecision. And I think that's the name of the game with this book. It's really, really, it's not like to the point where it's the most gruesome thing I've ever read, for sure, not at all. But I would definitely argue that reading about it is pretty unsettling, because I mean, when you think of like how things are even in like society right now, things aren't amazing at all by any extent. But you know what I mean? Like shit like that, like having to be stuck in captivity in some kind of position like that could be 10 times worse than per se like I would say like being homeless. You know what I'm saying? At least every once in a while I'll probably get a hotel. I'm still making money. I still got, you know, a bare minimum amenities like a piece of bread, okay, right, and a coffee cup and some autistic horsecock pills. That's what I'm saying. I'd say I definitely recommend reading that book. I've only read about halfway through it, but I plan on finishing it and finding other things to do. And this is documentation of day number 6. I think we're on day number 6. But I just wanted to talk about it because it was a damn good book. Anyways, that's going to be it for today.